Also, who taught men that after they apologize, they just can keep doing the thing that they apologize for?
Hi, yeah, their mother. I like to blame permissive parenting styles a lot. But if you ever wonder why a boy acts the way he does, just look at his mother, go meet her, and then suddenly everything in the world will make sense. Hi, I'm Andra. I nannied and worked in childcare on and off for about 8 years or so. And I see this parenting style a lot, and I see how the kids react to it. And then I meet men who behave this way, and I'm like, oh, I think this is what the kids grow up to be. And a good example of one time I saw permissive parenting like completely fail and then they tried to redirect and it just kept snowballing and getting worse was a time I went with a family to like a fancy art exhibit museum, and two of these kids were just a nightmare. But one of them was particularly always a problem. And this is why I don't like work as a nanny with parents anymore. Like, just leave me in charge of the kids. They shouldn't have been at this museum anyways. But the youngest one kept throwing a tantrum. Of course, said the museum was boring. They didn't want to be there. It wasn't that young also, so like the behavior was embarrassing. And the thing about permissive parenting is kind of like letting kids regulate themselves and letting them do them, which obviously wasn't working because this kid was making scenes. So the mother eventually had to step in and be like, hey, if you don't pull it together, we're not going to get you a treat like at the gift shop at the end of this. To which I was like, since when do kids just by default get gifts from the gift shop after museums? Because when I was growing up, like the gift was getting to go to the museum. And that worked for like 2 minutes, but then the kid started throwing a tantrum again. And again, the mom was like, if this happens again, like one more time, you're not getting a gift. And guess what happened again? And it kept happening and happening. And every time she said, if you keep doing this, you're not getting a gift from the gift shop. And then the second we get to the gift shop at the end, guess what happens? That kid goes and picks out a gift and the mother buys it for them, and they have learned absolutely nothing here. And I sat there watching like, well, no wonder this kid like doesn't learn to redirect. They have no real life consequences at this point. So they're going to grow up believing that there are no real life consequences. So essentially, I just watched this woman train a man to behave exactly the way this previous creator is describing in her video, right? Saying you're sorry, then continuing to do the action and still getting rewarded at the end of the day. And obviously, at a certain age, you can't just keep blaming everyone's parents for everything, right? You gotta grow up and figure it out on your own. But definitely always meet their mothers, because suddenly everything will make sense when you do.